The pelvis is made up of two sets of three fused bones, the ilium, the ischium, and the pubis. Collectively, they form your hip bones. Your hip bone is, in layman's terms, what we call the two bones collectively known as your saddle or your pelvis. In fact, three bones, as I said earlier, the ilium, the ischium, and the pubic bones are all separate bones, and they are formed by ligamentous attachments which ossify around puberty. By ossify, I mean that they come collectively and form one large bone, your hip bone, or otherwise known as your ilium. The two hip bones are joined in the front by an interpubic disc and a very strong ligament called your superior pubic ligament. Here we're showing you the interpubic disc, and here is the superior pubic ligament. That ligament is a very strong ligament, and it holds together your symphysis pubis. In the back, the two bones form a vacancy in the form of a V. The sacrum, on which sits the entire spinal column, is in the form of a V. The sacrum fits intimately between the bones and uniting the spinal column to the pelvis. Here, I'm demonstrating L5, L4, S1, and S1 is actually fused to the sacrum, as are four other sacral bones that form the sacrum. In between every one of the vertebrae exits a efferent and an afferent nerve for muscle mobility. You'll notice that the sacrum, starting with an S, and the hip bones, also known as the ilium, form the right and left SI joints. Here we see the ilium and the sacrum. They come together and they form a joint. Most people think that this is a static joint. However, where two bones come together, these joints connect the sacral bone and the pubic bones, forming the pelvis. As I said earlier, many people believe that there's no motion here. However, wherever two bones come together, there is always motion that is capable there. This is no different than at the SI joints. The first motion is counter nutation. This is where the sacrum moves posteriorly and slides backward and down. This is indicative of a flat back posture. The second motion is nutation, or forward sliding motion. This will give you your nice lumbar lordosis, or a nice curve in your lumbar spine. Now we're illustrating the hip bone and the sacrum. Where any two bones come together, motion is available. Where motion is available, you always have ligamentous involvement, which stabilizes the two joints. These are held together by the posterior sacroiliac ligaments and the anterior sacroiliac ligaments. Notice here we're outlining the posterior sacroiliac ligament, but also notice the myriad of other ligaments that come around the entire pelvis, which form a nice stable environment on which the entire lumbar, thoracic, and cervical spine sit upon. As we pan around, we now see the anterior sacroiliac ligament. That is illustrated right here. Just as in all joints in the body, they're held together by ligaments. Once ligaments get stretched or torn, they do not heal. Just as in the case of the ACL, once torn, it does not heal. Excessive motion is then available at these joints. The sacroiliac joint is no different. For more information and more insightful content, please visit www.thefootmechanic.com or YouTube at The Foot Mechanic.